Welcome to another episode of Boldly Going. I'm Merlin, sometimes known as Joe, and I have the Film Fanatics here with me. I've got Dan over there.
Hello.
Got Justin over here.
How's it going, everyone?
Today we're going to be going back into discussing Star Trek Voyager and the episode Prime Factors, in which Dan's going to be telling us the synopsis and his initial thoughts on the episode.
Okay. So in this episode, Prime Factors, they run into these people called the Sicarians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Sicario was running into my mind. But anyway, one of them takes Harry Kim to a planet many light years away in an instant. And so then Janeway wants them to modify Voyager's ship with the technology so they can
And the show.
help home. Well, she's already had enough after half the season. And they won't do that because of the Prime Directive, once again, rearing its head.
Ugly?
Appropriate head? I go back and forth on the Prime Directive. I think sometimes
most people do.
I think sometimes it's appropriate, just like real laws in the real world. Sometimes appropriate, sometimes maybe not so much.
Okay.
And she decides, well, I'm going to sweeten the pot, offer them access to the literature library, which was tempting, but they decided no thanks. But one of them is willing to try anyway, so they kind of like make the trade under Janeway's nose, and things happen.
Yeah.
Things do happen.
I actually really like this episode.
Good.
I think that it really gives Janeway a stern hand for once. You know, at the end of the episode, she basically tells I don't want to call her a traitor, but the person going behind her back, let's say, you know, look, I need to trust you. If I can't trust you, basically you're dead to me, kind of a thing. Or if nothing else, you're
demoted.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't kick her off the ship.
She's in the brig, I guess.
Floating in space.
That's a little dark.
There's not much that you could do, but yeah, demoting, kicking her off the team anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked that part. I thought the whole back and forth with these people was interesting. I liked that they were sort of using their knowledge and book library as a
means to gain.
Yeah, as a bargaining chip, basically.
Yeah.
It sort of reminded me of the Time Machine, where you know the guy could not believe that all of their books were just turned to dust. You know.
True.
And I think it really hits home that we do kind of want to, you know, go back and study other cultures, other races, whatever. So no, I don't know. I thought this was one of the, if not the best Voyager we've seen so far.
That's pretty high praise.
I should give it an A-.
A-.
Very nice.
Well, then what does Justin think about it? Because that's where it gets interesting.
All right, well, I guess...
D+.
D+. Well, who knows?
D+. Oh, yeah, you got me. No, I agree. This is... I mean, it's another classic case of when the writing is there, the episode can speak for itself. But I think really at the heart of this one is the age-old Prime Directive. Personally, I like the Prime Directive. The problem is it's used in a monumentally inconsistent way.
That's true.
And like the overall idea of the Prime Directive, I agree with. The execution of the Prime Directive is abysmal. Like
it's like communism.
Cough, cough, Star Trek Into Darkness, cough, cough. Too soon. Anyways.
No, it's been a couple years. It's fine. People know their thoughts on that.
That's straight for another day, I guess.
That's true.
But getting back to Voyager, I apologize for the minor tangent. But I think what's really cool with this one is we see the Prime Directive used outside of the Federation. They're not the only ones, and they're actually getting the back end of the Prime Directive.
That's true.
And it speaks a lot to their context of the central story, which there are legitimate stakes. And it speaks a lot to, like, okay, what do we do without compromising who we are? And I thought the resolution of this one, particularly in regards to one character who's been sort of the voice of reason, shall we say, for the series up to this point, going against what they may consider the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing, if that makes sense, which I'm sure it doesn't, but in context to the episode.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
episode-wise.
Episode-wise. But no, I think it's a little slow-moving at times. This is a very character-driven episode. But I think it's engaging and it's interesting. I leave with a B+.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm glad you guys liked this one. It's a pretty solid Voyager episode.
I think so.
Yeah, you know, I think that one of the cool things about it is, like you guys mentioned, kind of getting the back end of the Prime Directive is something you rarely see in Star Trek, where, you know, they do want to get home, but by gaining this technology, are they ready for it? If they did get back home, what would the consequences be? So, it definitely shows that the Prime Directive can be used for some really interesting conversations, and that is definitely a cool aspect of it. I think the people on this planet were okay as a race. I thought they were interesting. The only thing about this episode that kind of brings it down for me is that I think there are better Voyager ones for me, more focused on certain other characters, and I think Harry Kim's...
Anything with a Harry Kim subplot is not great.
Because, I
still like him more than Paris.
Yeah, it's just, Kim's just kind of...
Poor Harry Kim.
Well, he's just used... he's used to just be an impetus for everything that ever happens. Like, so many bad things happen to him just to move the plot forward.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow.
But nothing bad did really happen to him this time around. It was kind of like I spent the majority of this episode waiting for the other shoe to drop on him.
Well, you know what? That makes it even more disappointing. Because that's the part of the fun of Harry Kim. It really is. But no, I think this one's pretty solid. I think it's a good one for Janeway too. I leave this one with a B.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen many more.
Yeah, I've seen more. And there's some really good Voyager stuff out there, and I think... Well, I guess I can't get into it, but there are some things that happen later that are pretty significant.
Okay.
That you might know a little bit about, Dan, that get pretty interesting. Certain character.
The arrival of one particular character.
One particular character.
Oh, 7 of 9 of Voyager?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think she was, DS9?
I guess maybe I thought she was DS9.
No.
7 of 9, DS9. I guess I was getting confused.
You know what? That does make... I can see that make the mistake. But yeah, no, I think
7
it's
of
good.
Deep Space Nine. They would have called her that.
To my memory, there never was a crossover with her. But
Interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah,
well, it's not, they're far away, Justin. They're very, very far away.
And they weren't getting home from those books.
Because, but knowledge should be enough, right?
But I like that the Prime Directive sort of forces each particular captain to question authority and decide for themselves and their crew, when it's most applicable. I mean, we saw a Picard episode in Next Gen already where he was really struggling with the Prime Directive as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's one of the cool things about the Prime Directive is that you get to see how each captain deals with it. Because they all deal with it in different ways, and some of them care more about it than others, obviously.
Well, I mean, the problem with the Prime Directive is it's also incredibly broad. Like, how much is too much? Like, in some cases, just interacting with another race could be considered violating the Prime Directive.
And you'll see many examples where they have to compromise, like they know they're breaking it intentionally, but the Federation will be okay with it for certain reasons.
But I think our own laws, Justin, are mirrored in that.
No, I get it.
I mean, that's why I like the Prime Directive. I think it really is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a metaphor for a real thing.
Metaphor for law and structure.
Yeah, as per usual with science fiction.
True.
But yeah, no, it's a cool concept. I really do like it. I think it speaks to Roddenberry's vision of trying to, be the best that we can be moving forward. If we ever did encounter lower life forms, what is our role in dealing with them? So it's definitely delicate, but you guys are right. It's an interesting topic, and believe me, it'll come up many more times in the future about whether or not to go by the Prime Directive.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's just fun to say.
The
Prime Directive. It's like Optimus Prime, but with more directions. Deriving school.
No transforming though.
Well, it does though.
Yeah.
As you've stated, Justin, it does transform.
It does. It takes many forms per episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts on that particular Voyager episode. Let us know what you guys thought below, and of course, any other comments about future ones. And
how about our wrap up for the month?
Would you want to talk about wrap up?
I mean, we usually do.
All right. Well, then that's fine. If you guys remember the previous episodes, what do you guys think Trek did so far of the 4?
I would say this is probably the best. Miri was pretty good. I liked Miri more than you guys from the TOS camp.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I think I liked it the most.
Yeah, that's true.
Next Gen, I liked a lot too.
That was probably second best of this round.
Yeah, what was Next Gen? I forget.
That was second Q.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Wait a minute.
Justin,
you didn't like that one, if I remember correctly.
I don't like Q. That doesn't mean I don't like I don't like an
I
episode.
think it was like
Hide
a
and
B minus
Q.
though for you. That wasn't too good of a grade.
Because he doesn't like the pun of hide and
Wow, hide and Q is a stupid pun.
It is. But
I'm
no,
not
I
gonna
mean,
deny
Deep Space
that.
Nine, I'll be honest, that episode was probably the worst one we've seen.
Well,
save
I
maybe Babel.
hated the DS9 one.
refresh my memory.
Yeah, it was the one with that kid.
the game.
And all
the games. Yeah, the game where they
Do you want to play a game?
the quiz saw. Yeah,
I didn't.
saw it.
Yeah,
Quark was cool though.
Yeah, well, Quark's always good, but
usually.
he can't save an entire episode if the rest of it stinks.
Unless it's all about him.
Well, but then it wouldn't stink.
Usually not.
Mm.
I would say.
Fair point. Fair point.
What a directive.
You could say that it's very focused.
True.
It's like very important.
Yes,
You know, singular
True.
fact.
Yeah, but no, I would say actually Voyager wins the month.
That's rare.
Which we don't say often.
I was gonna say,
That's for sure.
I'm totally in awe right now.
Yeah, I think that's the first, probably.
I think you're right about that. Well, like I said, as I often say, Voyager has good stuff. It's just
Few and very far between.
very, controversial Voyager show, I guess. But then again, all of them were at some point in some way.
True.
And that's part of the fun. But we'll close this one out, and next time we'll talk about TOS once again, which is, as usual, pretty entertaining.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Can't be fun.
Well, see you next time, guys.
See everybody.
Take us out.